Namaskar. The 11th point of the 16 points is called Adarsha. Adarsha, one of the meanings of this word is a mirror. A mirror is a thing that we look on to understand ourselves. When we look in the mirror, we make ourselves more beautiful, we remove some defects. And the actual meaning in yogic context is ideology. So ideology is just like a mirror. You look at the ideology, you compare yourself with ideology, and you make yourself better. This word ideology, it has been misused in the 20th century. There were several cruel, inhuman ideologies. So today when we hear the word ideology, we get that kind of creepy feeling that it is something totalitarian, inhuman, and not desirable. Even in several constitutions in the countries, it is fixed that no ideology should prevail in the country. But if we really try to look into the meaning of the word and try to understand its true essence, then I think we will change our attitude towards the ideology, what is actually ideology. My guru, he has said that he asked the disciples, he said, what is the greatest fortune and what is the greatest luck, greatest happiness in life? And then different people tried to give different answers. Finally he answered himself. He said, greatest fortune and greatest happiness is to have an ideology, to have the true ideology. So what is ideology? If it is so wonderful, what is the ideology? For me, the acceptance of ideology has made my life wonderful. It has created, the moment I have accepted it, it has created a magical flow in my life. It has created the flow of happiness. So that is why I love ideology. The ideology comes from the word idea. Idea, logy, physiology, psychology, biology. So logy means a study of or science of idea, the science of idea. And what is idea? Actually, there is one definition of God, of consciousness. It says, Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The infinite knowledge is God. The God is infinite knowledge. And that is just one aspect of Him. He is also infinite love and infinite bliss. But if you look at Him from this side, you'll find that He is infinite knowledge. And what is idea? Idea is the opening to that infinite knowledge. When the doors and windows of the mind open in a particular state of the mind, and you get a glimpse, you grasp a tiny bit of that integral, all-knowing, all-encompassing entity, that is called idea. You say, Eureka! I have understood, I have realized. That moment of the realization is called idea. So it is described in the yogic philosophy as the state of the psycho-spiritual parallelism, when the mind flows in harmony with the Supreme Consciousness, when the mind accesses the consciousness and becomes knowing, gets the knowledge at that point, that is called idea. So idea is actually the state of unity with God, the state of ideal harmony with God. And then ideology, what is ideology? And then there is another thing. Another thing is called ideation. Ideation is when you try to know the idea, you try to touch the idea, try to understand the idea, and in that effort your glandular system is involved. When I say Baba Nam Kevalam, infinite consciousness is all there is. And when I do start to feel, when my higher glands secretes their hormones, and I do feel that the energy and inspiration, and I do feel that love and unity, that is ideation. The flow. And then ideology. What is ideology? Ideology is when the idea is translated into psychophysical realm. Idea is the state of the psycho-spiritual parallelism. You are in the spiritual flow with consciousness. And ideology is when that flow is translated into the mundane world, into the psychophysical realm. Let's say, who is in a state of idea? Inspired being. One acquaintance of mine, he is an artist. He creates many things. He paints and he makes sculpture, he makes installations. And then I asked him, why are you doing so much of art? He said that I'm not doing for money. I'm not doing for fame also. Then what for? I'm doing because this is my everything. How? He said, one day, he gave me example. One day I was painting and I found something. I'm onto something, but it is still formless. It is still unexpressed. So I'm searching for it and I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to express it. And he said, I was staying up all night creating and painting and I was feeling I'm onto something. I'm really, soon I'm going to express something wonderful. And then he said, suddenly I start to perceive that from my painting the golden divine light emanates, radiates. And I was looking at that painting. The light is just beaming from that. And then I looked at my hands and the light was beaming from my hands. I looked around. Everywhere the light was beaming. And then this the scared mind was the frenzied fear. What is going on with me? Am I derailing? Am I going mad? Or maybe I'm going to die. I'm still so young. I still want to live. So when these emotions start to come, the lower emotions, that revelation has stopped. It disappeared. And he said, I'm still wondering what would happen if I would not get scared. So he said, that is my meaning. That is my purpose. I'm doing art to find the truth. What is actually the essence of beauty? What is actually the deeper meaning of art? So he was doing that. So that state, when you realize, when a scientist discovers something, when he realizes something, it is a joy because the windows opens to see the God, who is infinite integral truth. Whatever knowledge we have, it is Him showing Himself in small bits and pieces so that we can understand. When we are ready to receive that knowledge, when they are ready to receive those technologies. So the inspired person is the person who is in that state of the idea. He is in a regular opening. His doors and windows are open. So that is the idea. And if we take that person and we make a portrait out of him, okay, he is like this, he is like that. He's behaving in a certain way. These are the principles motivating his life. And if we take that description, that will become ideology. So, in short, to describe the ideology, actually, the inspired person is motivated with only two forces. One force, one motive is to liberate myself. Today I want to be better than yesterday. Today I want to have deeper realization. Today I want to have deeper knowledge, deeper love, and more complete wisdom. That is one motivating force. I want to go in that direction, and I want to expand myself and encompass the truth. The truth is infinite, so I also want to become infinite, to embrace the truth. So that growing is one purpose of life. And another one is compassion. And another purpose of life is to help others to expand and also encompass the truth. Many thousand years ago, already this slogan, this motto, was pronounced by the great yogi, the divine entity. His name was Sadashiva, and he is worshipped as God in Indian tradition. So Shiva, the father of the human civilization, the one who has created so many contributions, the science of music, the science of dance, the yoga, the mantra, the everything, the science of breath. So he pronounced, the purpose of life is Atma Mokshartam Jagat Hitaya Cha. We live for liberation of ourselves, and we live to serve the entire creation, the entire universe. And then my guru also, he has taken that as a mission of his life to spread that ideology among the masses. Because why it is so important? Why should people accept the ideology? That is the juice of life. Once the ideology is accepted, the meaning of life becomes manifested. I compare my life before and after accepting the ideology. You know, nowadays, actually yoga becomes a household word. Everyone knows yoga. It's not anymore esoteric, it's not anymore hidden, it's not anymore for mystics and, you know, the ascetics. It is for housewives and for office workers and for engineers, everybody. And then next step, the meditation has become trend. Now the people everywhere in the companies, in the top managers and the police officers, everybody do. Everybody does. So that also becomes a household word. But it is still ideology-less. People do because they want to calm their nerves and want to have a little bit better view, the perspective with a calm mind, to have better intuition. But it still doesn't have that spice, that deep taste of meaning, of purpose. I am living for the liberation of my soul. I am going to be liberated, and I am feeling that. With my every step, I am actually becoming vaster, nobler, and then I am also helping others to do the same. I am moving ahead, taking ahead the entire universe. So when this idea dawns in the mind, that I live for the welfare of all beings in the universe, and I live to liberate myself. At that, it is a magical thing. At that moment, when you accept this ideology, the flow, you are filled with the flow. You become in the state of idea. You enter into the state of flow. Your mind starts to run parallel to the cosmic mind. And the doors and windows of the mind open to see the truth. The world is so vast and it has so many secrets to discover, to unveil. But the ignorant mind does not allow to enter anything in. But when the mind goes into that flow, then it becomes perceptive. And it is a wonderful, the life is wonderful. That's the comparison with the kids. You know, the kids, when they live, their mind is so gentle and is so tender and is so receptive, and the nervous system is constantly growing. So 1 month passed and the nervous system has developed, and due to that development in the nervous system, you suddenly see the different world around, and it is wonderful and it is scary also. So sometimes child cries and nobody understands why the child cries, but the entire world has changed. That's why the child is crying. And this is also what is happening with the practitioner of meditation, the person who is constantly striving to develop the brain, to expand the mind, and then suddenly the world is changing. And this is what is happening every day. Bits and pieces of realization, the bits and pieces of understanding is just occurring to you, and you're like, wow. And that is when you are in the flow. You are living for your liberation, and you are living to serve others, to help others, that everybody in this world will be happy, not only humans, but also animals and the plants and the insects and the bacteria. Everybody will have space, and we will achieve the proper ecological balance on this earth. So when you're motivated with that urge, you become inspired person, you become visionary, you become the torch bearer for the humanity, for the human race. And that's our inner desire. That's the higher instincts within us. So ideology is very important. And 11th point is uncompromising strictness and faith regarding the sanctity of ideology. I have accepted the ideology, and that is the core of my existence. And there are so many temptations, there are so many distractions. I am holding myself true to my ideology. I walk there in wealth or in poverty, in health or in sickness, in whatever, in happiness or adversities. I am there true to my ideology, and I am moving with the inner joy and happiness ahead. That, in my opinion, is the greatest happiness that human can really experience. Thank you very much. Namaskar.